What's going on, my exotic family? It's your boy Trey. Welcome back to another video. We are back to the Things You Should Know series. Been having a lot of people, I noticed, try to hop on the blood python train because they're realizing that they're not as bad as most people make them seem. So today, we're talking things you should know before getting a blood python. Stay tuned. All right, everybody, so welcome back to the video. You guys know I couldn't do this video without my guy Kato here. Looking good, looking great, and he just ought to. Let me tell you a quick story about Kato that happened recently. I shared it on Instagram, but as you guys know, my snakes are currently in my brother's shop. We are full operational right now, so we are open. So, there's reptiles, there's fish, there's amphibians, and then there's rats we sell to the public. They got to feed the snakes, snakes got to eat. This guy actually breaks his cage, not the door, but he actually busted the seam and got out. Now, I have to apologize to you guys because I've lied. I know I've said in many videos that these guys do not have a climbing bone in their body. And that's simply because I would put stuff in his enclosure just to offer it to him, and he'd always take the easy route. He would never climb. Even if I would put him on it, he would back up and go the easy route. Well, the thing is, in order for him to get in the rat enclosure, which he did, and I'll get to that in a second, he had to climb up a rack. So not only did he do that, he ate 2 jumbo rats. I feed Kato large, so it looks like now Kato will be moving up to jumbo rats because he ate 2. So that's why I haven't shown Kato off a little bit. I had to wait for him to basically digest those rats and poop them out because dude was huge, and he's in a temporary tub setup now because I can't put him back into this black one, and I'm having cages built right now anyway, so I'm not super worried about it. Temporary, like I said, but so that's Kato, but he's looking good, he's doing good. I'm glad he's okay because, as you guys know, I don't feed him live, and these were live rats, so it was definitely scary. I checked him over for any wounds or open scars or bite marks, and not one in sight. So he just recently shed for me, and he poops quite a bit. It was pretty crazy. I had to actually take out all of the bedding, bleach it out, and put new bedding in there because it was pretty rough. But anyways, topic at hand, things you should know before getting a blood python. Shout out to my guy Bosa. He just got a blood python. Shout out to my homie Elias, Creative Reptiles, Bosa Balls on Instagram. Shout out to both of them. They both just joined the blood python gang, so definite big shout out to them. If you need help or questions, y'all know, hit me up anytime. I don't mind helping. But anyways, first thing you should know about blood pythons, and I'm gonna jump right in and just say it. They are not aggressive. I don't understand the stigma that they were given. It's really honestly kind of stupid. And if this stigma was, if the snake was a human, it'd be a stereotype. That's literally, when snakes have a bad reputation, it's just a stereotype that they were given by other keepers who had a bad experience with them. And I don't understand it. And I don't really like when people push their experiences, especially the negative ones, onto other people. But anyways, they're not aggressive. They're not defensive. You spend some time with them. And again, I mean, look at that. I've never had any issues with Kato. Now, are there some feisty blood pythons out there? Yes, but there's also some feisty ball pythons. There's some feisty MBKs. There's feisty carpet pythons. There's feisty boas. There's feisty snakes everywhere. But to give a snake a bad rap as a species because, you had a bad experience with them, or you've seen something or heard something, that's stupid. Because if that's the case, you seeing this, then you should be saying all blood pythons are nice. But because you've seen one blood python that was mean, you're labeling them all mean. That makes no sense. But anyways, they're not that defensive. Do they require some work? Yes, they do. They're very intelligent snakes. I will say they can and sometimes do get agitated easy. If you keep them too hot, they will get agitated. I do not keep Kato over 86. His hot spot, I don't keep him over 86. That seems to work for me here. I know some people who do 87, 88. I feel like with Kato, if I were to keep him at 88, he'd just be a little too spicy for me. So I keep him his hot spot at 86, and he does perfect. The next thing you should know about blood pythons before actually getting one is the simple fact that they as babies, poop completely normal. As babies. As adults, it spaces out tremendously. What I mean is, as they start getting bigger and bigger, Kato at this size poops for me around twice a year. And yes, that is perfectly normal. It takes their body a super long time to break down and process the food matter in their body. So in the end result, they take forever to poop. But when they poop, oh boy, do they poop. It's crazy. It looks like dog poop, like it's human poop. It's horrible. And does it smell? Yes, definitely it smells. But that's the reason I wear gloves on Instagram. A lot of people always ask me, why do you wear gloves? Kato is one of the reasons I wear gloves, is because that poop is no joke. But again, that's completely normal. Just make sure they have fresh, clean water available, because 9 times out of 10, usually when they shed, they'll leave a nice present for you as well. So you definitely got to be prepared for that. Gotta be prepared for that. Now, these guys are also burrowing snakes. Kato, whether he's in a hide or not, Kato actually likes to get under his substrate. So you definitely want to have a nice thick layer of substrate in there for them. They do love caves. Like, I like to try to give them a lot of options. They're native to Malaysia, a lot of like swampy, marshy farmlands. So they like it moist, and they like it dark, and they like to just be burrowed down, and they wait for food to come by. So you definitely want to make sure they have some really dark hiding spots. So when I get everybody upgraded, majority of everyone is gonna have some type of display light. Kato is not, because they like it really dark. And if I do a display light, it will not be bright. It may be just like one little light, just so I can actually physically lay eyes on them. And even then, I may only turn it on when I need to, if I'm trying to get some cleaning or something done. But they do not like it. They love it dark. They love it really dark. They love dark caves. And I mean, again, there's times when I don't see Kato for, 4 or 5 days at a time, because he's just hanging out in his hide. I'll go in there, lift his hide up. He's hanging out. I'll leave him alone, let him do his thing, and that is it. All right, so another thing about these guys that I think a lot of people actually get confused, especially when they're starting off into the short-tailed python world, is these guys are actually, they're usually confused with their relatives, which are the Borneo pythons and the Sumatran short-tailed pythons. When in actuality, they are all their own species. Yes, they are all in the same family, but they are all their own species. So again, Python Brongersmai, Python Breitensteini, and Python, there's one more and I can't remember it right now, but Borneo shorttail, Borneo, Sumatran shorttail, and blood python. Blood python is the actual biggest. A lot of people call these Sumatran shorttails black bloods, which, I mean, tomato, BCC, BCI, it's not a huge deal. I mean, the common names are really for us. Do we really think the snakes care? But as this being an educational video, I'm gonna say yes, it does matter for me. Just simply because it can have an effect on the husbandry, the size enclosure you get, or whatever the case may be, and it's probably just better for you to know exactly what you're getting, you know what I'm saying? So although they're in the same family, you just never know. You don't want to mistake a green tree python for a carpet python, because carpet pythons, they actually get a lot bigger than green tree pythons. Same family, but they look completely different. So I do think it's important to know what you're getting, but it does come to a certain point where it gets kind of nitpicky. So yeah. Alrighty, and last but not least, I kind of touched on it before. Big water bowls. These guys do love to soak. At least I know Kato loves to soak. So he has a big plastic bin that he can actually fit in, because usually when he's soaking for days at a time, I know he's about to shed and or poop. So I try to make sure that he always has fresh water. So you definitely want to make sure you have a big enough water bowl for them to soak in, because they definitely will utilize it, of course, on the cool side, and make sure it's fresh water. Especially, with water bowls, we're not using pumps, we're not using, whatever the case may be. So stagnant water, gotta go. So I do change my water pretty often, especially in the winter time. We keep it really warm in here. I don't know if you guys can tell, I'm actually sweating right now. But yes, these guys do love to soak. So I do try to keep fresh water in there with Kato, just to make sure he has good hydration, and he does pretty well with that. So that is pretty much it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video with things you should know before getting a blood python. If you have any questions, of course, you can hit me up on Instagram or drop a comment down below. I would love to see what comments you guys have. But also, let me know what you guys think of this video. Let me know how you guys enjoyed seeing Kato. Kato is an OG on the channel. Kato is actually the first snake that I brought home. Out of all these snakes, Kato was the very first snake. I don't know if, to my new subscribers, I don't know if anybody knew that, or I'm sure some of you did. But yes, Kato, definitely a favorite around here. My daughter loves him. Actually let her hold him because he's just that friendly. But drop a comment down below. Follow me on Instagram at DW Exotics. If you like this video, hit that like button. If you love this video, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you guys go sign up and become a member. US ARC. We got to do it, people. We got to do it. We're still having issues. So definitely make sure you do that. And as always, stay exotic.